There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of really good music just to get us kicked off. Love it when that stuff pumps up. Anyway, we've got some comments in the chat window here already tonight where people have been watching the markets. And yes, there's lots happening out there. It's quite scary when you look at how bad the system is reacting to what's going on in the world. I'm not sure that we've ever seen an environment like this that we're in today. In fact, most of the commentators that we see on YouTube and in other places are saying similar things where they've never seen anything like it, and I've got a couple of slides tonight that talk about exactly that. And I'm just so glad that we have had the opportunity to get ourselves established in a system that allows us to compete. And that's what's particularly confronting when you see the number of people that are filing for unemployment benefits at the moment. And in fact, some of them have had the opportunity for years to do something different, but they choose not to. But it's just, that's what it is. It's the world we live in today. We have a lot of things happening in the world. So we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. We're going to do some live demonstrations. We're going to show you some things on the Gold Rocks website. We're going to show you how to purchase Cashgold in the Karatbars website. We're going to show you how to purchase gift cards on the Easy Shopping Cards website so that you can get what you want in the world along with some gold back for your, just for the way that you do business. So here's our Brains Trust. I know that Amanda was complaining yesterday that Kent kept the flowers that I sent over for her because he's a bit like that. He tends to be a bit floral. You know, we make allowances for him because he's a nice guy. Our sponsors tonight, Skippy Pest Control and Easy Shopping Cards. I was going to get Ben McCloskey to give us a demonstration on how to eradicate a termite. He knocked the heel off his boot while he was demonstrating this afternoon, so he's gone off to get his boot fixed. Can anyone show how to buy KBC for Stephen Reed? Not real simply tonight, Roger. We can do that. We will do a little video capture for you because we've got to do some more this week. So I'll probably set out to do that tomorrow and we'll be able to get things going, and we can do it on Karatbit with Cashgold. Actually, Brent can talk about that when he's demonstrating the Cashgold part. So once again, we are expressing our views only as affiliates. We do not like to let people think that we represent the company. We are independent affiliates, and that's that's the way I like it anyway. Remember, we don't represent the company. A lot of the things that we show you are examples of what we've worked out ourselves. So here at Easy Shopping Cards, you even get gold with your groceries. And by the way, you can use an e-gift card at Woolies to order a pickup. You don't even have to go in the shop with your e-gift card. I know that Cassie's done that a number of times. I know they suspended their deliveries there for a while because they were overloaded. It may be back on again now, but you can do the pickup side of it. So you can get up to 5% back if you buy something like BCF, Super Cheap, Auto, those sorts of cards. They're 5% back in gold. And when you connect that with a sale that they're having, that's an amazing outcome. You do need to have a Karatpay account. Now, we will have a video up on the Gold Rocks website in the next few days about how to set up Karatpay. We're going to go through it with somebody and actually capture the whole process. There's some minor things you've got to be careful with. It's actually reasonably straightforward. If you forget things like you leave the 0 on your mobile phone number when you register, it will not work. You have to have that set up accurately because the text messages come from overseas. And when I was buying Easter bilbies, which I could have, they've stopped doing that now, the reptiles, getting gold for chocolate for Easter, I created, some gold with that process. When you create an account on Easy Shopping Cards, just go to easyshoppingcards.com, create account and put in your personal information, and that's where you put your Karatbars ID. Now, if you don't have it, you can still go ahead and do it anyway. The sales will accrue. They've been accruing for the last few weeks now, and when we get it sorted, then you'll get the gold transferred into your account. Know that there's a few people that have had the gold shown up because we did a manual process to do it recently to test that everything worked end to end, and we got it to work. So make sure your Karatbars wallet ID goes in there, and the number does start with 80,000. So if you're trying to put a number in there that doesn't start with 80,000, it's the wrong number. Okay, here's another headline that came out on Friday from the US, from CNBC. Upcoming job losses will be unlike anything the US has ever seen. Now, look, there was an entire article about this. The core of it was the upcoming weekly jobless claims will shatter the standards set even during the worst points of the financial crisis and the early 1980s recession, with the Bank of America forecasting a total of 3 million, remember, this is weekly when the number is released on Thursday. So these numbers are looking so bad that the Trump administration is trying to stall the release of the real numbers because it's not a good look for them at the moment. They're preparing for an election, and they're in the worst economic environment since 1932. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over there. Quite sadly, we are connected to our Yankee friends because the US dollar is the global support currency. So just remember that if you don't believe this is coming, open your eyes and read headlines. Every single day, I see multiple headlines demonstrating how bad things are becoming. There was a headline on the Oil Watch website today where they're saying that the storage in America is at 70% capacity right now, and no one's driving anywhere because of the lockdown, so the oil is just backing up in all of the reservoirs. Hence, West Texas crude was down to $17 a barrel today, and I think they need about $50 a barrel to break even. So it's really going to put the cat among the pigeons in the oil industry. Not necessarily a bad thing, but we'll see what happens. So I like this slide. I read an article some weeks ago where they talked about the tinfoil hat aficionados, and I thought, you know what? That's exactly what we are. We are tinfoil hat aficionados. We've been talking about these events happening for quite some time. We have absolutely seen before our very eyes this entire thing happening. So every week the news gets worse, and it continues to do so. What's quite scary is that the stock markets are still going up because of the amount of money that governments are pumping into them. Now, it's a complete fake bubble which will completely collapse at some point in the not too distant future. We'll see how far that goes. But don't panic, Jonesy, because we got gold, baby. We are armed and ready. It's quite interesting to see just the little bit of involvement we have had. Gold has unbelievably built a foundation for us in just a few months. There's people on this call tonight that have absolutely turned their life around just in a few weeks, really, just a few weeks, by switching what they're doing into the gold-backed system rather than depending on debt-based economy. And that's what cash is. Let's make this our catch cry. Don't panic, Jonesy. He was very cool. I had a little video yesterday that we showed of Jonesy going into one of his don't panic modes. So this is what we actually need to get our head around, and I really struggled with how to express this until I found a video today, which I'll show you in a moment. Gold actually doesn't fluctuate. Gold buys the same amount of bread today per ounce as it did 500 years ago. It's quite interesting to see how it's done that. And it's really, this graph shows it. Every currency in the world that disconnects from gold loses its value because of inflation. And that's just what's happening in the world. If we could defeat that any other way, I'm sure the governments would have worked it out. They call it Keynesian economics, and there's been a lot of calls for it to be pronounced legal economics because it just doesn't ever add up. Now, I'm going to show you this video, and if this doesn't get your attention about what gold does, this is going to hit home with a number of people, and I thought it was hilarious when I saw the title. It really does explain how gold maintains its value. Have a watch this Mike Maloney video.
Have you ever thought of the true value of gold? I mean, really, the value of something isn't its price. It's what you can buy with it. That is the true value. And I've got Ronnie Stoffel from In Gold We Trust report of Incrementum AG with me on the phone. And he's got this fantastic chart here that shows how gold maintains its purchasing power throughout the decades. And this chart shows you how many liters of beer 1 ounce of gold buys. Ronnie, how are you doing?
Very well, Mike. How are you?
Good. So this chart is the final chart in your chart book from the In Gold We Trust report. And I found it both entertaining and, this is close to my heart. I think it was back in the early 80s. It was like 81 or 82. That I attended Oktoberfest, and I drank quite a few of those liters of beer. So that's when an ounce of gold would buy more than a couple hundred. I didn't drink a couple hundred liters of beer. But so tell us a little bit about this chart, how you compile the data, and what it means to you.
Well, actually, it's one of our most famous charts, and people love it because, it shows you how gold over the very long term really protects you against paper money's ongoing loss of purchasing power. So actually, the average inflation at the Munich Oktoberfest is roughly 4% every year. So this Oktoberfest mass, which is a 1 liter mug, gets more expensive by 4% every year. Now, measured in gold terms, it tells you that your purchasing power is actually, it's not 100% stable, but it is much more stable than compared to fiat money. And at the moment, with 1 ounce of gold, you can buy 150 liters of beer at the Oktoberfest, which is slightly above average. So it's not extremely expensive, but it seems to be a good deal. And I think that the power of this ratio, of this chart, is just to show you gold protects against paper money's ongoing loss of purchasing power. That's really the important message of this chart.
There's something else that I just noticed in this chart is you can see gold's previous bull market in here very, very clearly. It starts, after 1970. There's a trough at the bottom in this chart in 1970, and then it starts to rise. And by 73, 74, it peaks, and then there's a mid-cycle correction, and gold peaked on the last day of 74, and then it became legal for Americans to own it again, the first day of 1975, and coincidentally, gold started falling. So it went from where this chart has its little minimum, and you could only buy 48 liters of beer with 1 ounce in 1971. This chart goes up, and gold was $35 an ounce back then, and it rose to just a breath away from 200 an ounce at the end of 74. And then it did a mid-cycle correction, and gold fell almost 50%. It fell from just a breath away from $200 all the way down to 103 by, I believe it was September of 1976. It was 20 months that it took to hit bottom. And then it started rising again. And you can see that in its value against beer, which is amazing. You can see the price of gold measured in, it's priced in beer here. And it went up to 227 beers from probably around 80 beers around 1976. It exploded up to 227 beers. And this is annual data that you've got here. So I think the average annual gold price in 1980 was somewhere between $400 and $600. I can't remember, but the peak in January of 1980 was $850.
Yes.
So it was probably buying you 500 liters of beer if you measured it at that peak. But then you can see the long bear market in gold and bottoming into the year 2000, and then the bull market again starts, and it starts purchasing more and more beer, and it peaks in 2012 here at 137 liters of beer. And then again, just like the bull market in the 70s, we have a mid-cycle correction, and it's now coming off of the bottom of that mid-cycle correction, but it has yet to exceed its previous high. It has yet to make the explosion. So this again shows the echo of the bull market of the 70s. You can see that this bull market is stretched out longer in time, but it's much greater in magnitude. If you look at the first wave, it looks like gold purchased about 120 liters of beer in 1974 or 73. That was the first time it broke through, the first wave up in the bull market. And this bull market, the peak was in 2000, the peak of the first wave was in 2012 at 137 liters of beer. So this is a much more powerful bull market, and gold bought a lot more beer at the end of its first wave up. And now we've been through the mid-cycle correction. It didn't go quite as low as it did in 1976. We haven't even surpassed the 1974 peak of that first wave up in the first bull market. So when it surpasses that, this is going to explode. I think you're going to see a day come where an ounce of gold buys 500 liters of beer or more. What do you think, Ronnie?
And then we should meet up in Munich, Mike.
You're on. And with that, I think we should wrap up this very, very special section of your In Gold We Trust report on the value of gold measured in beer.
Now, isn't that an interesting way to look at how gold is measured? It clearly demonstrates the purchasing power of the metal. It has been outstandingly stable over a very, very long time. So I think we should actually all plan on, when we eventually get out of lockdown, going over there to Munich to test out the theory. I know that there'll be a few takers on this call that would be up for that. So here's the latest gold price. And I'm always astounded when I look at these numbers. Lots of people actually get hung up on these numbers here. In fact, what you need to be looking at are these numbers from here down. Over the last 20 years, gold has returned over 500% per year. It's a big number. and 9% in the last 30 days. How amazing is that? If you were to check in somewhere and tell them that you could get them a 34% annual return, how many of us do you think would end up in jail for being insane? You go into a bank and ask them to hook you up with something that'll get you 30% annual return, they will laugh at you because they want to pay you about 0.6%. And according to top commentators, it hasn't even started yet. So that's where we've got a big advantage. We are on the cusp of this wave and we are catching it. That's what's really, really good. So let's have a look at getting some Cashgold and transferring it to Karatbars. Some of the things need to be paying attention to. Remember, Karatbars still supplying gold. Okay, Mr. Dobson.
Right, I love that video. Okay, so just as I get up, what will we do first? Shall we do easy shopping cards?
Okay.
Easy shopping cards. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to go through a purchase of a $500 e-gift card. Now, at the same time, there's a few things I want to ask you, just so that people realise, what we're doing here. So basically, when we first get onto this, we log into our account, obviously. You let me know if I'm not doing the right thing here, mate.
Yep, you're going good. See what you've got remembered there?
Okay. I was hoping that would come up after the BR.
Yeah.
All right, so I've saved my password, obviously. So we come up to this page, which is what do you call that? The home page, is it? My dashboard?
It's your dashboard.
My dashboard. Can everyone see that? Hopefully you can. So basically, you ask, and there is a video I did notice that on your website, which says, what tells you what to do. So to go to My Wallet is the next step. Is that correct? So I went here when I was choosing what I required.
Go back to your dashboard.
Go back to my dashboard.
Yep. All you need, see that your reference number for direct bank transfer. ESC 335 Dobson.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And just send a bank transfer.
Yeah. All right. So this is the steps I did. So that's good. I went to My Wallet. Just wanted to show people what this was and the different ways that you can purchase this. I just hit direct debit. It came up with this. There's the number you're talking about. Is that right?
Yep, that's it.
That's my number. Now, if someone's coming here for the first time, you will create one of these for them. Is that correct?
When they register an account, it's automatically created for them.
Love it, love it. Okay, so I put this money in yesterday so that the money is already available. You like about 24 hours notice, is that right, if you're doing a bank transfer?
Yeah, about that.
About that? Okay, so the next step, once the money's in, that's pretty straightforward. We go to electronic gift cards. And I simply come down here to the amount I require and submit. Now, this is a cool page. I love this. This is, at this stage, most of or all of the cards that are available. Is that right?
Yep, they're all available.
Okay, all of those are available, all the gift cards. This one here is something that stood out to me. I believe this is a 5% card, 5% in gold, Derek, is that correct?
Yeah, it's about 5%.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, we decided to go out and buy a new TV before I realised this was available. And I went to JB Hi-Fi and paid $1,000 for a brand new TV. And what I realised, if I had known about this system, and obviously from now on I will be, I would have got $50 in Cashgold. Is that correct?
About right.
Holy cow, that's $500,000. It's unbelievable. I just think this is incredible that you've set this up, and it's only going to get better. I believe you'll be ready as a K merchant in a few months, and it'll be more automated and the likes. Anyway, let's do this transfer so that everyone understands what we're doing. So I'm going to buy. I shop at Woolies anyway, and all I do is put my email in, and it comes up with, because I've shopped here before, and I want this sent to me by email. So if I just click on that,
No,
please.
you haven't put an email address in.
Well, I did try. See, he got me to do this because there's no one more Gumbian than me.
Click on that one. There you go.
So click on that, and then I just hit email. Is that right?
If you want it emailed, yes.
Yeah, I do. Oh, no, you're saying that you'll send it to SMS as well. Is that correct?
Yep.
Let's
You can click
SMS.
SMS.
So, let's see how that goes.
It's just strapping on the piece of paper now to the pigeon, and the pigeon is now being released.
Something just popped up here in messages, and it is a pin and a download card. There you go. So that's come through straight away. Here's the other cool part that I like, Jerry. You showed me how to set up an app. So basically, my concern was I don't like throwing money away. So I don't want to be able to go to Woolies and have to check my balance all the time, and if I get down to a few dollars and just throw it away. So you showed me an app that you have, and it's called just a Woolies. What do you call this? Woolies Money. It's the Woolies sign in green and money. But we can show people how to do that maybe on another webinar.
You can turn on your camera and show people.
Shall I do that? Okay. So let's. All right. Hello, everyone. That's a bit bright though, isn't it? Can everyone see that?
Open up the gift card tab, the blue one. That's it.
So that's what. If you can see that in the bottom corner there, that's what the app looks like. It's called Woolies Money. But once you open it up, it comes to, I've added my rewards card to it. Might as well double dip here. I can get free gold. I can also get my Woolworths rewards. Now remember, this is not just Woolworths. This is also Caltex for fuel, Big W, BWS, and most importantly, Dan Murphy's. Is there any other ones on that one? If anyone knows, let me know. So that's the top one. BWS, yeah. And then this bottom one, hang on, it's just dropped out. The bottom one there, or the top one there, well, sorry, no, I just said that. The bottom one is your e-gift card balance. So I can show people that, because all you got to do is enter that number and you can have the rest that's on my card. You want $6.70, but so yeah, I don't waste a cent. So basically, when I get this new one, it's probably already come through, I'd imagine, on my SMS when I put it in, I can start shopping straight away and add it to that app. Is that right, mate?
Yep, that's it.
That's brilliant. Love it. Okay, so to me, if you have a look at that, we go back to click
the back button.
The back button
on the screen, top left.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. There's all the gift cards, and I mean, eventually when we can fly again, there's some pretty cool ones there. There's Webjet and there's Virgin, Lorna Jane's, Amazon. It's pretty cool. I imagine you're going to add a few more as we go. Yep,
they'll be updated constantly.
Okay, so I think that's brilliant to me. Who wouldn't want free gold with your core shops? I mean, with what you've got on there and what's coming, we're going to have most of your weekly shops there. So anywhere from 2% up to 5%. Is that correct?
That's it.
Okay, love that. That's brilliant. So, all right, the next one I'm going to show is how to buy Cashgold and put it on your Karatpay. Now, Roger, you are asking about purchasing KBC. There is an 8-week wait for KBC, as we spoke about yesterday. And once that 8-week period's up, let's do it. We'll do a live presentation of how to buy KBC, Roger, if you like that. Okay, I'm just going to put my authenticator number in, and then we're going to buy some Cashgold. All right, so at this stage, everyone's aware of their back office there. And I'm sure a lot of you know how to do this, but we're going to do it anyway for any newbies. And this will be recorded, so you can have a look at it at another time. So what we do when we're buying Cashgold, we go into products and we see gold products. And then we see Cashgold. We click on Cashgold. And you see the amounts here. Like I said yesterday, you can purchase for 1/10 of a gram right up to really whatever you want. There's just some of the amounts here. What I'm simply going to do here is buy 2 grams. So we're going to change the 1 gram Cashgold for 122.40 in euro. Going to add it to cart. We view our cart. Check out. Sure, most people have seen this before. We agree to all the anti-money laundering and that we're not doing anything illegal. And there's no bonus cards on Cashgold. We do know now with all the new packs that we require, and we went through that yesterday. That's pretty cool. Now, how I'm gonna put it into storage, and how I'm gonna purchase it. This is the really cool part. Because I'm building a business here and telling others and showing others how to save in gold, and we know how good gold is from that lovely presentation we saw tonight. I'm going to purchase it with monies that I've earned through helping others save in gold. So I'm going to buy that with my prepaid MasterCard. Pay now. There must be a lot of students still on. Okay, order confirm. So there we go. So to check on that, we just have a look at my gold. And as you can see, oh no, you didn't realise that. See the Cashgold here? It's an extra 2 grams of Cashgold in there. So now what I'm going to do, I go to Karatpay. I'm going to load it onto my Karatpay wallet. Now, why am I going to do that? Because, as I said yesterday, we're going to add this to Karatpay, wait 8 weeks, and then I'm going to buy a heap of KBC, and we'll see what other options we have at the time. So as you can see, I've already got 10.684 grams loaded, and that's happened. I'm purchasing 2 grams a week every week, and it won't be long before I'll be able to do that. So I go submit the 2 from Cashgold from here, and it should pop into here. And that just means it's loaded on my e-wallet, which means it's on Karatpay. And Karatpay is just like our PayPal system. It's how we purchase everything. And there it is. Okay, so I've got 12.68 grams. I'm just going to keep storing that every week. I mean, I can do that every day if I want. I can add more to it. I just like to buy a couple of grams. And from when I first started purchasing this, my God, is it going up? And you realise the value of gold when every week you have a look at it and you're paying more per gram, because this is done, this is up to date spot price. So, mate, that's all I wanted to go through. I think, is that pretty clear? Did everyone see that and pretty much understand how simple that was?
Yeah, that seemed pretty straightforward.
Okay, beautiful. Right.
Ken McCloskey has already calculated how much beer you can buy with that.
This is good, and thank you, Roger, for pointing out how to spell "Das ist gut." Das ist gut. I love that. That was a brilliant presentation on when the price of beer in reality went up by 4% a year, and you can still buy more now than you could, years ago. That's the value of gold. So how about I send this back to you?
Okay.
Can you do that, or do I have to do that?
There we go. In the last 20 years, our gold has approximately increased 10% a year. And if you look at what we're looking at here, gold in 2000 was 31 grams, was $450. Today it's 2,500. That's a tidy increase in value just in the last few years. And during that time, your money, your cash, has lost 54.28%. While you've got money sitting in this system in gold or cash gold, you are picking up the advantages of having gold available. You have actually got real gold. So you just need to make sure that you understand the advantage of holding gold, not currency. So set up a free Karatbars account. There's no fees. You can join as a customer or an affiliate. What you can do as a customer is somewhat limited. As an affiliate, you get to pay wholesale, open other income streams, there's more products available, and you can trade gold and crypto if you so choose. You don't have to. You can build this business and make money on your own. You don't have to talk to anybody. There's people on this call that have done that. The Karatbars have brought gold and blockchain together. That's what gives us the security and the freedom. The wealth principles: pay yourself first, establish a residual income, limit your tax exposure, and stay ahead of inflation. All of those things are delivered by gold. Make sure you understand the best part of this business. Now let's get to the main event. Karatbars' mission is gold in small increments. Let the ordinary people get gold. Karatpay is a global gold payment system, and that's going to get more and more preeminent as time goes on in the coming weeks. Karatbit is a proprietary trading platform where we can create our own gold in that system. UNV is a term called univals. It's just UNV is short for universal value. It's simply a way that Karatbars uses to measure the amount of gold that you send someone. So 1 unival is 1/10 of a gram. 10 univals, 1 gram. So it's a way that they can send gold using the blockchain and making sure that we all understand how much has been transferred. There's many cryptocurrencies available in the Karat system, and there's more coming. You'll be able to seamlessly pay for pretty much anything with cryptocurrency or gold. Transactions in Karatpay will have a 0.1 gram fee, a 1 unival fee, which is split with the owners of the tokens on that blockchain. So I'm not going to go into too much detail tonight about the unival in the Karatpay wallet and the blockchain. This is a major shift from where the company was going to do this. It gives us a lot more control over the gold and the money, currency that we need. So members in Karatpay, so I can create these univals in Karatpay, and I can create an income from that residual the rest of my life. Don't have to talk to anybody. That's a pretty good system. How true is it? Is the opposite of the beer consideration. A Ford in 1920, a Ford in 2020, you still buy them with a kilo of gold. In fact, today you'd get change from the kilo of gold. That's how good it is. And if you think about our fiat currency, if you're not aware that that's happening to you every day, you need to actually wake up and smell the roses, because I've observed that happening over the last 20 years. You walk back from the grocery shop thinking, how did that just cost $130? It's appalling. And that's a government website that gives me that number. Make sure you check out these details. Now, if you want to get involved in part of this, the best way to do it is get started with a multi-pack. They run anywhere from 180 to 4,900 euros. I started at 180. There's a whole lot of people on this call that started at a 180 euro pack. You can do everything in this system starting at the bottom. I did it. I know there's lots of people here. Dan did it. Dan did it. Lots of people on this call. Brad Saravalli did it. Brent, I don't know what level Brent started at. We've all done it. and we've got an ability to build it from nothing. Stephen's saying, are you saying that if you transferred 0.1 gram to someone, they would get nothing because there'd be a 0.1 gram fee? Steve, that's a great question, but no, that's not how it works. I'm saying that there's a 0.1 gram as a percentage. So it'll be, if you sent 0.1 of a gram, I know I've tested it and got it down to as little as 5 cents worth of gold I can transfer through Karatpay, and it didn't get eaten up by the fee. So the fee is a percentage up to a certain point, and then it stays flat, near as I can work out. So there is 2 different descriptions of the fees, which gives us 2 different numbers, but a simple answer is 0.1, I'm suspecting, would be off a fixed amount. It won't work away for all transactions. Because obviously, if you buy a $100,000 car, I suspect the fee is going to be more than 0.1 of a gram. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's us for tonight. Just be aware that due to the Heineken flu, we are doing all of our meetings now via Zoom or some sort of electronic media. It's nigh impossible to find a coffee shop where you can sit down even 1.5 metres away. Dan McCloskey came back from, he did a stint on the buses the other day, said that they've fenced off the front seats of the buses so that the drivers are 1.5 metres from the passengers, but all the passengers have to sit side by side. It's quite interesting to see what's going on in the world. We've got gold. Let's just hang on to that and run with it. It's been hugely successful for a number of us. We'll have this video up on the YouTube channel if you want to watch it and watch parts of it. Again, if you go to goldrocks.me/YouTube, you will find it. I'll just type that in there, .me/YouTube. We'll bring up the YouTube channel. So, Jack is saying, save every week in Cashgold and transfer to Karatpay straight away. The more purchasing of Cashgold, the more valuable the KBC and Unival become, increasing all of our wealth. Yes, everything we do in this business helps each other. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir.
Just before we go, again, great call tonight. That young Jack there is one of my millennials that's in Mitch's team, and you watch these guys go. So this is open for the young and old. But just quickly, you reminded me something then when you said how you started with such a small pack. And, I kind of forget those early days because, you didn't have a lot. You had a few coins to rub together, and that was about it when I first spoke to you guys about this. And yet, look what you and some of your team did with very little money and a lot of effort. And that's what Jack's doing at the moment with his team, and I'm helping him and Mitch and everyone else has got their leaders. But, these new multi-gold packs have cash gold in them for the seller as well as the buyer. And we know, and we just saw tonight, you saw me buy cash gold and put it on the Karatpay system. So we know that, you don't need a lot of money. If you've got a desire and a work ethic, just like you guys did, so many of you did on this call, you can, and I started at silver, all right, and I won my VIP pack in one of the incentives, so anyone can do this, and you don't need a lot of money, and there's going to be a lot of people hurting after this. So I just thought I'd throw that in, mate, because that's a very, very good point about, this business we have here.
Thanks, Brent. Roger has said, please explain the fast start packs. When I joined as a bronze, it was 150 euros then, but you didn't get that much gold with it. I registered 5 people at bronze or above within 5 weeks, and I got a free upgrade to silver, including the gold that came with the pack, and then it was quite a chunk of cryptocurrency that came with it. And then that same day, I also qualified for a gold pack, and within a few weeks, as Brent did, I won a VIP pack in one of the promotions. I know that Jan McCloskey's won a heap of packs, Carolyn, Camilla, Brad Seravalli, he likes to show off by taking people to the Barossa Valley. I know Cheryl Edmonds won a silver pack. There's a whole heap of people on this call tonight that have won free upgrades to get themselves to a position where they're making more money, and they didn't put by spending money, it is by doing some work. And it's not all that difficult. So Stephen, 5 in 5 weeks, I go from level 5 to level 6 only, not 7, right? So are you a bronze, Stephen? From level 5? No, you'd be a silver or a gold. You're a gold. So you introduce 5 golds in 5 weeks, you will go up to VIP, which the first one, which is number 6. So it's a great way to get yourself up through the ranks. And yeah, it's 5. I remember the first time it happened to me, I had to call Brent and say, how come I've just got this free upgrade thing? And he said, I forgot to tell you about that. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. So you can do this. It's gold. It's how to get to 7. Steve, I'm not sure if they do a fast start from 6 to 7. I'll investigate that for you. That's a very good question. No one's asked that before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you do 5 6s, you will be upgraded to 7. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
We'll check that out for you, Steve, and get back to you. Excellent. Yes, and we've had just a comment here in the private window about if you've got a super fund and it's being managed by somebody, I pretty much bet you that it's lost a pile of money. You need to get and talk to your funds manager, get them pay attention to gold or cash that you can turn into gold. Some advice on that. I can't give you any advice on it, but I know there's people on this call tonight that saved themselves very large sums of money by shifting their super. You know, I'm going to check fast 5 conditions. I think there may have been an upgrade shown in last week's global webinar. Okay, well, if we could have got on the global webinar, that would have been handy. Stephen, yes, certainly. Derek at Gold Rocks, me, I can send you some stuff. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're all avoiding the Heineken flu, so I'm very happy to be fit and well, apparently, and all the people around me that I care about the same. So let's just keep smiling, enjoy the sunshine, and we'll see you on the golden beaches of the world.